La jumătatea lunii mai s-a desfășurat petrecerea Get Darker în Club Colectiv din București, acolo unde a mixat și unul dintre pionierii muzicii dubstep, Distance din Marea Britanie. Omul și-a început cariera în producția muzicală alături de oameni ca Mala de la Digital Mystics, Scream și Benga, iar împreună au creat un stil de muzică care a cucerit lumea. În adolescență era înnebunit după muzica heavy metal, însă după ce a început să se ducă la petrecerile rave pe vremea când studia în facultate, Greg Sanders și-a schimbat gusturile muzicale. Pentru prima oară la I Think I Like It, Distance.
În luna mai, în Club Colectiv a avut loc petrecerea Get Darker, care l-a avut ca invitat principal pe Greg Sanders, un producător britanic de muzică dubstep cunoscut în întreaga lume drept Distance. Greg ne-a povestit cum a început să facă muzică și ce părere are despre publicul din România.
What do you think about the Romanian public?
I think they're cool. I mean, I haven't really been here that long, but I'm going to be hanging around for a bit and kind of look around and speak to people. So yeah, it'd be cool.
What's your opinion on evolution of dubstep music? Don't you think that Skrillex and Borger and Brostep kind of bring the dubstep down?
I think those people did as much good as they did bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's probably a lot of people who might know who I am now who didn't before. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like back in the day, like I used to listen to Guns N' Roses, you know, but like from them, I then went, oh well, I looked deeper into like rock and metal. Exactly. So there's like people who know about me now who come up to me and go, oh my god, you know, I was listening to Skrillex and then I found you and I found Mala and I found, you know, so I think they've done that, and I think those people, you know, they just kind of did their version of what we were doing in the UK. It became more accessible. Do you see what I mean? Like, it was real underground music.
More mainstream.
Yeah, which is, it's going to happen to any sound that gets big. You know, like even drum and bass, like drum throughout the whole, most of the time, drum and bass is, you know, yeah. Exactly. Like it'll be underground, and then all of a sudden there's a drum and bass tune that goes to in the top 10 or number 1 in the charts. I know there was a tune recently, I think it's by Sigma, that went to number 1, you know, in England. So, but then
They were pretty hardcore.
Yeah. But from that, you know, that will make drum and bass even bigger because people are like, oh my god, let's look into drum and bass, you know. So exactly, and I think dubstep will do exactly the same. It will go like this, and then it'll go back underground, and then it'll come up, and it'll keep doing that forever. You know, I think
It's a cycle.
yeah, I don't think dubstep will go anywhere. Like it'll just go back underground. Someone will make a big tune, it'll be picked up by mainstream, and then it'll all start again. There'll be a new Skrillex, there'll be a new Flux Pavilion, and that's just.
What do you think of the way of Americans handling dubstep music in comparison with British people?
I don't know. I think it's strange. I think because England is much smaller, it started off as a community. It was a very small. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, England is a real important place for bringing up new styles of music, and definitely dubstep was it. But it gets taken by other countries and they interpret it in their own way, you know, and that's just what happens, you know.
How did you start your musical career, your DJ producer career?
How did I start? I used to listen. I mean, I used to be into metal, so I was listening to like.
As a teenager.
Yeah, like Sepultura, Pantera, people like that.
You used to go to those.
Yeah. I went to the first ever Ozfest there was. I went to in England, and there was Ozzy Osbourne, obviously, Kiss, Slayer, Korn, Pantera. It was mental. So, like, you know, that's kind of what I used to be into. And then when I went to university, I started hearing kind of more. I was going more to clubs because everyone else I was around went to clubs, and then I was just like, okay. And then out of nowhere, I was starting to hear this darker kind of sound, which was, you know, I was heavily, at the time, garage was massive in England, so nearly every club you went to was garage. But then, so I was going to these garage raves all the time. I wasn't that into it, and then out of nowhere, it just started getting a bit darker and a bit different, and then you had grime come along, And then that was it. I was like, right. I love the DJ called DJ EZ, who's still going now. Like DJ EZ, if you're watching this, massive fan and influence. And my goal.
So that was the influence for you.
Yeah. Like that made me listening to him made me want to DJ, and all I wanted to do was make a tune that he would play because I used to listen to him every week, and he was playing these darker bits, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make a dark tune for EZ to play, and I did. The first tune I made, EZ played it, so I was like, cool, yeah. And then that was it. I kind of Forward was building up, so I was going to Forward. I met people like Oris J. You know, at the time, you know, people like Scream, Digital Mystics, Code 9 were just like me, just going along, and then that was it. We were all just shaking hands, swapping CDs, and then that was the beginning. You know, that's how it all.
How did you feel?
It was amazing. Like, looking back on it, you didn't realise at the time because you're just meeting some guy and like, oh, do you want these tunes? And they're like, yeah, you go, mate. And that was it. It was just meeting people, swapping tunes, and it was before, like, even before really the digital age. Like, we were meeting and swapping CDs and swapping dub plates, and then so we kind of been there through the whole evolution of it going digital and onto the internet and forums, and I think that's why dubstep becomes so big so quick. Was because that's when the internet, you know, and sharing music it just boomed, you know. Back then I was playing a track by like Todd Edwards, and then a grime tune, and then a weird two-step tune that was then dubstep, you know, and that's kind of how it all worked. It was just, you just kind of played everything that fitted that tempo, but then it just become more and more, you know, channeled into this sound, and then it was like Hatcher done his mix CD. It was called Dubstep All Stars, and then that was it. Dubstep was like kind of born, yeah.
You had the chance to meet with your old friends to do something together, or like Mala, DMZ, or?
I'd love to meet. I mean, because Mala lives in Belgium now, and I've just had a baby, so it's full on. Like, my time is looking after, like, writing music and looking after a kid and DJing, so it's hard. And but I'm collaborating with. I've just done a collaboration with Jay Kenzo, and I just started one with Icicle and Proxima together. So that'll hopefully we'll try and get that finished. But I'm doing a load of other projects that are completely different from dubstep as well. Yeah. There's some bands, and I help them to develop their sound, and I do a lot of mix engineer work where, you know, I'm giving people's tracks and I mix them, and so yeah, lots.
This summer you will mix in US. You have one US tour.
Yeah, July. I'm over there in July for 10 days, and I think I'm doing 9 shows in 10 days, so it'll be pretty full on, yeah.
What advice will you give to a kid who wants to start a DJ music career?
I think the most important thing is, like, kind of follow what you want to do and not what you think everyone else wants, if you see what I mean. Like, for me, like, DJing has always been about trying to play something the audience hasn't heard rather than just playing top 10, you know what I mean, just giving them what they want, if you know what I mean. I like the fact that I might play tunes that people look at me like, what's this, do you know what I mean, I don't like it, and it's like, well, you might not like it, but someone else will. I think that's the thing, just like be confident in what you're doing and give it time. It takes a lot of time. Yeah. As a DJ, buy decks, learn on decks first, because like no one knows how to mix on decks anymore, and it's really important, I think. Also, this is Distance, and you're watching I Think I Like It on UTV.